Okay, so picture this. You've got your tickets. You're ready to see Mission Grey House.
This new Indian suspense thriller.
Yeah. But hold on a sec. Before you head to the theater, let's
do a little deep dive.
yeah, a deep dive into what the critics are saying about this movie.
Exactly.
And lucky for you, I've got our resident film expert here with me.
Happy to be here.
They can, untangle even the most, cryptic reviews.
I'll give it my best shot.
So what is it about this Mission Grey House that's got everyone buzzing? What makes it stand out, from all the other thrillers?
Well, one thing that really jumps out is how it takes those classic thriller elements.
The suspense, the mystery.
Yeah, all that. But it combines those with a very, I'd say, distinctly Indian perspective on justice.
Interesting.
It's not just about keeping you on the edge of your seat. It's also about exploring those gray areas of morality.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So let's get into the plot a little bit. We've got this young guy, Kabir.
Driven, ambitious.
Yeah, super ambitious. He wants to be a cop more than anything.
Yeah, it's his dream.
But here's the thing. This ambition, it kind of pushes him to do some pretty extreme things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he starts, taking the law into his own hands.
Vigilante justice.
Yeah, basically. And he even, get this, dresses up as a police officer.
That's crossing a line.
It definitely makes you wonder, right? How far is too far when you're so convinced that you're doing the right thing?
That's the core dilemma, isn't it? It's like, how far can you go before you become the very thing you're fighting against?
Exactly. And this whole Grey House, the place that Kabir ends up at, it's shrouded in mystery. What do we know about it?
Not much, and that's intentional. The review keeps it pretty vague, but it does hint at some shocking twists.
Oh, twists. I love twists. Do you think those twists might, force Kabir to question his whole view of what's right and wrong?
Oh, I'd bet on it. I mean, the way the review describes it, Kabir's pursuit of justice might not be as black and white as he thinks, especially with a supporting cast that includes some real heavy hitters.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you've got Kiran Kumar.
That's right.
And Raza Murad.
Big names.
Known for playing those, morally ambiguous characters.
Right. And then there's Abeer Khan in the lead role.
I think he's got the chops to hold his own against those veterans.
Yeah, that's a lot of talent to work with. The review actually raves about the intense performances.
Yeah.
Do you think having those seasoned veterans in the supporting roles, do you think that elevates everyone's performance?
Oh, it's usually a good sign. When you've got that level of experience in the mix, it often means they're going to dig deeper into those character dynamics and really explore their motivations.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
And if the screenplay is good, those motivations can really come to life on screen.
The screenplay, the review specifically praises the immersive screenplay and dialogue. What do you think, what makes a screenplay truly immersive? How do they pull that off?
Well, for me, it's all about how well it draws you into that story world. You want to feel like you're right there alongside the characters.
Like you're part of the action.
Exactly. That could be through clever plot twists that keep you guessing, or dialogue that feels authentic, reveals something about the characters.
Makes them feel real.
Yeah, or maybe even a really unique narrative structure. We'll have to see how Mission Grey House uses these elements to achieve that immersion.
Yeah, and the visuals too, right?
Yeah.
The review highlights the cinematography as a key element in building that suspense.
Absolutely. Cinematography plays a huge role in setting the tone and atmosphere.
And then there's the action. They even call it the fight scenes as being, quote, raw and realistic. I find that really interesting, especially considering, Kabir's almost superhero-like obsession with being a cop.
Right.
Could this be the film's way of, deconstructing that typical action hero trope?
I think you might be onto something there. It could be that those raw, gritty fight scenes are meant to, highlight the harsh realities of crime and contrast that with Kabir's more romanticized view of law enforcement.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It could also, represent the toll that his methods take on him, not just physically, but emotionally.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's a good example of how action can be used not just for spectacle, but to, really deepen the thematic exploration.
Okay, before we wrap up, we got to talk about the music. The review mentions how the music and the action choreography, how they work together. What do you think they're going for with that combination?
Well, I think they're aiming for a truly visceral experience, A well-crafted score. It can really heighten the tension, amplify those emotions, even foreshadow what's coming next.
Oh, like a musical clue.
Kind of, yeah. And if they're syncing that with the action choreography, it could make those scenes even more impactful.
So to sum it all up, the review gives Mission Grey House a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
That's a pretty strong recommendation.
Sounds like it's definitely a must-watch for anyone who loves a good thriller.
Absolutely. But before you go, here's a little something to think about, a final thought, if you will. The film really dives into the themes of ambition and justice. But what happens when that pursuit of justice, when it turns into an obsession? I mean, does it still lead to true justice? Or does it end up warping the very values it's trying to uphold?
Wow, that's deep. That's definitely something worth pondering as you're watching.
It is.
And of course, remember, this is just one review. The great thing about film is that it's so subjective, right? What resonates with one person might not resonate with another.
That's the beauty of art, isn't it?
Exactly. So go into Mission Grey House with an open mind, let that suspense take hold, and most importantly, form your own opinion.
I'll be curious to hear what you think.
We'll catch you in the next deep dive.
See you then.